Welcome back, guys. Jet Scott here as always, and today we are joined with my Pro Stock Hemi in the background. It has finally made it back home, and no, we will not be running this engine, but you will have seen the intro where you got to hear it running, and we might throw in a couple of clips of it running here. Ignition. Guys and gals, I'm going to throw this in here while I am editing the video. If this car right here excites you in any way, you're going to want to check out this YouTube channel. A new friend of mine, he is taking up a really cool mantle, and he's going to build a very similar 426 Hemi twin plug Pro Stock style engine, just like what you've seen in this video and you watched us put together to continue to race in his Demon. So tell me that doesn't sound freaking cool. So go check him out. Dry Hop on YouTube. He'll have a fresh video out same day this video is. What we're doing with this engine today is we got to take it apart, because the number 5 exhaust port, there's a porosity hole that opened up, and well, it's getting to be winter time. We need to get the water out of this thing as well, and probably need to put some kind of way to drain the block for sure. So my mission today is take a break from the Barracuda excuse me, and I've got to basically get the heads off this thing. Let's get right at it. Let's try and get as much done today. So we got most of the cooling system taken apart. Got the fuel lines off. This is why I like making my fuel lines the way I do. Comes off one big piece, and the AN line kind of forms itself, so it'll stay in that shape as long as I don't mess it up too bad. Just got the distributors loosened up, so now we're going to start this process. This is kind of sad. Every time I pull one of these out, I'm going to cry a little bit, especially if one breaks. So I got 16 of these bad boys to unplug, and we'll pull the dual distributor out, and then intake, and then heads. Distributor setup's off, and now it looks very naked. This is a lot of stuff, but just like how I wanted to put it, all comes off as one big unit. That's the entire ignition system right there, down to the wires that run on the MSD. Alright, so ignition, fuel, intake, heads. Alrighty, fellers and non-fellers, so there's the valve train. Everything looks good on this side. I don't see any issues. Other than valve wash is a little bit loose right now, but also, no, I'm just kind of going off of looking at this guy, and it looks a little loose, but it's hard to say because I don't know where the cam actually is, and I'm not going to worry about it too terribly much. So we got this side, but as far as we want to go, we'll get the header off, and then we're going to scoot the engine over this way. Other side, everything's looking just fine so far. I just want to show you something kind of cool. I'm kind of an engine nerd, but I like the idea to be able to look in. You can see the exhaust valve. You can actually see the combustion chamber, and you see just the lift on that bad boy right there. How open that valve really is. Oh yeah. Everything looks real good. Cam wear looks fine. No issues there. You can see the lifters are running pretty much where they need to be. There's no wear on the bronze gear. No. What's supposed to be worn is worn, but it's not excessive. Everything came off pretty good. I used this gray RTV and just thin coats on everything, and it's coming off real nice. So now I gotta finish taking this header off, and then slowly unbolt the heads and get those off, and then we're done with this for now. We'll see how our block filler looks. There's been a little bit of particles like sandy material in the cooling system, so we'll see how that cured up. It may have needed to wait another month, but I let it sit for over a month out in the hot summer's day curing, so it should be cured, but we'll see. All right, so we got our first piece of carnage. Nothing here. I was pulling the push rods off of the rockers, and I had one push rod that was damaged, so I grabbed another one I had that was the right length, and well, this is supposedly came out of a Top Fuel Hemi. It was the exact same length, everything matched up with my old push rods. Well, I don't think it was up to the duty. It yeah, it's a little screwed up. And this is the adjuster, actually, I think, that was messed up that I got from Brian. It was a new old stock Iski, and we're gonna need a new one. All the rest of these look fine. They're all originals here. Yeah, all these are great. No issues with the rockers, so I'll have to fix that before this thing can go back together and get a push rod, or just get a whole new set. I might just go ahead and buy a whole new set. We're slowly leaking water. It means we had a good head seal. So I got to get these inner valley studs out still, then we'll get the driver's side head off, and like I said, move on to the pasture here. All right, so the other head is off, and this is the head we had welded up and repaired. No issues with it. No issues with the rockers or push rods. On that side, it had all the original push rods to the engine. That guy looks a little bent. It's not. It's just the way it was laying looked kind of bent. No, okay, it's straight. So nothing wrong on this side. It's all good. We got a little bit of scuffing in this one, but it's nothing you can feel. These boards weren't in the greatest shape when we started with this thing. We just honed them out a little bit. But I just want to show you this. Oop. Yep, that'll work if we can operate the ratchet and hold the camera. It turns over extremely easy, and it actually kind of continues the momentum over. It's pretty impressive. But I'm going to bag and tag everything. Got all the studs and everything out. We'll put everything away. And just wanted to include you on this little tear down scenario. We're not going to dig into the bottom end just yet. We'll do that later. But there's the Pro Stock, guys. I hope you enjoyed checking this out, and hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, I'll like the video and whatnot. Welcome back, guys. Jet Scott here as always, and today we got a very special video and a sad video at the same time. Hope you enjoy. Look at the Pro Stock. I know we're going right into this. So this engine, we never really, filmed a whole lot more on it after its last run.
Here goes. I think they're getting on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're still shit.
Earplugs would be a good move. But you'll see she's in a little different configuration because I'm actually selling the Pro Stock. I've agreed to sell the short block, my brand new Edelbrock heads, and my Stage 5 rockers to a feller who really wants to live out the Hemi dream. There you go, my friend. And I love this engine. I love the history with it. I love the sounds it makes. But at the end of the day, I can't bring myself to detune it or do anything. I can't change it. I can't bring myself to change anything on this engine. From the period correct parts to the camshaft to the rotating assembly, I just can't do it. So here we go. I'll let someone else do it. And this is going to be kind of my setup. I got another one of these Barry Grant King Demons coming. Found two of them with the RS replaceable sleeve units. These are currently set up for 1090 CFM. I'd like to get these down to the 800 mark, so I got to find the black sleeves according to my book. However, some of the money from this, and then of course we're putting a lot of money towards helping Dad and I move, but I'm going to be using quite a bit of that to fund that. That just got delivered today. It's raining cats and dogs outside. A special package from Bill Mitchell products. So if you have any idea what's in there, let me tell you, this is the best bang for your buck right now in the market, because the Cali's price is going up to $6,500, and Indy, I think you're touching close to $8,000 now. So the Bill Mitchell is currently, as of right now in January, still $6,200, but they'll be going up $6,500. So honestly, why would you ever mess with the Cali's? And we're not going to consider the Indy block. I love the way the Indy block looks. I love Indy Cylinder Head, the new owners. But I can't get past the price point, and they charge you extra to draw out the freaking dipstick. So let's get that unboxed and let's see what it looks like, because that's my birthday present to myself. What do we got inside this box? What do we got? Ooh, look at that. A Bill Mitchell all aluminum Hemi block. Oh, and a water block at that. Oh, I've always loved these blocks. Billet main caps. A little bit of cardboard in that. Main studded. 4-bolt main. Instead of the normal Hemi only has 3. Now they got billet main caps. They used to use, I think, ductile iron. 1/2-inch pickup all set up in there. Ooh, I'm in love. I got to actually see one of these in person at my machinist Mark's place in Salina, Advanced Edge Machine, and it was a wedge block, and it was right there. I knew if I ever had the money and I was ever going to buy a Hemi, it'd be a Bill Mitchell. And let me tell you another thing. You talk to Bill on the phone, he's a fantastic dude, and just customer service is above and beyond. Love the dude, and I'm happy to actually finally be able to pull the trigger on this. Let's get it out of there and see what it looks like. Ooh, I can't stop staring at it. Oh man. So this is all standard Hemi stuff right here. I know a lot of people have an issue with these freeze plugs on the front. I don't care, I love them. I think they look good. God, it's just a beautiful block. I would make this, seriously, this might be a coffee table for a long time, because it's just that pretty to look at. And I'm just that stoked about it. If you would have told 18-year-old or even 25-year-old me I'd pull the trigger on one of these someday, I would have never believed you. But here I am, age 30. This is my own birthday gift. And it was an expensive birthday gift at that, I will admit. Man, is that thing freaking sweet. All the work's already done. All we gotta do is finish bore it to 4 1/4, which this is going to stay 4 1/4 bore. I'm not going 4 1/2. I don't really want to build a stroker out of this. I kind of want a higher RPM engine, but we will see. It all depends on what I get for a rotating assembly. This will be a solid roller cam. I have an extra set of lifters and a camshaft for this already. The twin plug heads that are on that will go on this after we fix that exhaust port. Probably the MTs, probably the Indy tunnel ram, and like I said, those two King Demons. Oh. And you may already be asking, Jeb, what color are you going to paint that? Well, let me tell you something, fellers. My dad always taught me 2 things. Always said 2 things to me. You don't paint chrome and you don't paint aluminum. So there's your answer. And I don't care if it gets all crappy looking, because I like the dirty aluminum look. That's one of my things when Mark was redoing those Hemi heads right there. I told him, do not clean them. Keep the outsides of them dirty looking, because I like the dirty aluminum look. This tunnel ram is going to have to sit in the barn for a long time, though, to match. Oh, I'm just giddy. I apologize, everybody, but seriously, if this is something you feel is out of range for you, look at me. I'm 30, I'm poor, I'm very white trash. In fact, if you don't believe me, you can't grow facial hair like this without having a lot of white trash in your genetics. Seriously. I mean, look at this, W2340. Anybody can acquire this kind of stuff with just a little bit of effort. Put your money back. Save a little bit here and there. Pennies make dimes, dimes make dollars. And that saying holds true. Because anybody can amass a hoard like this or run a parts business and have a Hemi if they so choose it, if they're willing to work for it. Nothing will ever be given to you. So this right here is like the epitome of badass for me. And I'm hoping that this thing makes a screamer, a radical engine, but also very tame and street drive. Because you know where this is going? Into that blue Charger over there that loves to break output shafts on transmissions. So I'm going to be selling the 505 in Jezebel. If we don't put that in the van, I'll be selling it because I want a Hemi in Jezebel. So Dad and I both will have Hemi 4-speed Chargers that we can go cruising in. Because that just sounds like a dream to me. So, guys, thank you for checking this out. I'm super stoked. I'm just going to sit here and stare at this thing for the next couple hours, and I'll catch you later in the next one. So as always, take care, and bye-bye.